Hey guys, I've been hearing a lot lately about how tough it is as a new hunter player in Deathgarden, and it feels almost impossible to beat decent runner teams. I've been dumping quite a bit of time into hunter lately myself, so I'm going to throw together this video that'll help give you some information and hopefully help step up your game as hunter. There actually is a tutorial in-game that will teach you the bare basics, so I won't be covering any of that. If you haven't yet gone through the tutorial, please do so before continuing this video, or else you may not understand some of what's going on. Okay, the first thing we'll talk about is your loadout. There are currently 6 guns to choose from, and you can bring 2 of these 6 into the garden each round with you. The first gun is the assault rifle. This is a basic automatic rifle that has a 40 round clip and does decent damage. This gun is perfectly accurate for the first few shots and then gets some crazy recoil, so handle it carefully. The upgrade crates give this gun extra damage. The next gun is the light machine gun. This gun has a giant clip of 150 and shoots incredibly fast, but it's also very inaccurate. This gun can be devastating at close range, but also chews through ammo at an insane rate, while also having a very long reload. It's also important to know that the backup ammo is capped at 400, so it's a constant struggle to keep ammo for this gun. Up next is the auto shotgun. This gun is a close range shotgun with a crazy fast fire rate. The auto shotgun is capable of putting out an insane amount of DPS in a short time period, while also having a decently fast reload time as well. The other shotgun, and my personal favorite, is the Mauler shotgun. This gun shoots a little slower than the auto shotty, but has slightly better range and a larger clip of 10 shells. It's also important to know that you reload each shell individually, which may be a benefit or a flaw depending on the situation. This gun, combined with some good aim, can do a crazy amount of damage to runners. On to the snipers. We'll start with the semi-auto sniper rifle. This gun has a 12 round clip and shoots about a round a second. The damage per shot of this gun is surprisingly low currently, and it takes over 3 shots to down a runner sometimes. This is probably the only gun right now that I'd highly recommend staying far, far away from. Now on the contrary, our final gun, the bolt action sniper, is probably the strongest gun in the game. This gun has 1 shot with unlimited range that is a 1-shot down on body and headshots. After fired, it requires a semi-long reload before being able to shoot again. It's important to know that both snipers have a visible laser sight to the runners when you aim down sights with the scope, so constant hard scoping in the direction of runners will be an obvious giveaway. This gun can create pressure from the whole way across the map, especially with how many ways there are to reveal runner auras. It's also the best counter if you run into multiple support heal spam, which we'll cover a little bit more later. Deathgarden is also very unique in the fact that they gave their sniper a minimum effective range, meaning if you're too close, it won't do full damage. There are also 6 perks that you can choose 2 of to help you out in the game as well. I won't go through each of these as they're all pretty self-explanatory, although I will highly recommend running the 2 that I find to be the most effective, which is rapid reload and great shape. Faster reload is always good, and hunter stamina is one of the most important things to manage against good teams. There are 4 abilities that you can choose from as well. The first we'll talk about are turrets. Turrets take 5 seconds to form and they are inactive until this is complete. However, they can still take damage. Turrets last a minute and a half before despawning, have a 40-meter range, and can be placed 2 at a time. Setting a turret takes a turret charge, and they respawn every 45 seconds. Obviously turrets do damage, but on top of this, they target and shoot at runners through walls and trees. This makes them almost like stationary radars, and they can help you locate runners by listening for them firing, and then following the direction that they fire. Turrets are also amazing if you're struggling with a runner or a group of runners. If you're struggling to get it down or feel like you're being bullied, simply set down a turret or even 2 turrets and then watch the fight turn around. Be careful to not do this while the golden crate is active though, as special bolts do extra damage to turrets. Next we'll cover proximity mines. You can carry and place up to 10 mines, and when used they regenerate every 18 seconds. These can be pretty useful for general map control, but it's also important to keep in mind that runners can see the orange ring around them and they can be dealt with fairly easily. I find a great way to use these is near a lot of tall grass or on the tops of hills so runners climb into them without being able to actually see them. These can net you some downs from across the map and also help you deal with troublesome runners the same way that turrets do. The other 2 abilities work a little differently. ICU is a perk that reveals auras of runners near you for 11 seconds. And also has a cooldown of 30 seconds. This ability is great for when you're chasing a runner and they seem to just disappear. It keeps track of them for a while so you can guarantee that they don't actually lose you for a short amount of time. This can also be very good if you struggle a lot with getting blinded, since you can pop the ability when the blind kicks in and it makes it fairly easy to shoot them even while blinded. The last ability is Fade. This makes you almost completely invisible for 18 seconds on use and has a crazy low cooldown of 15 seconds. This means if you use it every chance you get, you could actually spend over half the game invisible. It also sheds any crowd control that was applied to you on use, but then once activated, the runners can reapply the CC again. Okay, let's get into some actual gameplay advice. I'll show you how the start of a match usually goes. This is probably the most important time for Hunter, and you absolutely have to apply pressure and get downs as quickly as possible. The runner team will be using the early game to get as many upgrades as possible, and if you allow them to do this for free, you will regret it very quickly when they have strong builds. Getting early downs make it so the runner team has to spend their time saving teammates rather than getting the upgrades that they need. Keep in mind that your ult ability is a turbo that makes you run faster and jump higher, at the cost of about 25 initial stamina on activation as well as a constant stamina drain while it's still active. If you need to get up a hill fast, this is the tool to use. Be careful though, because stamina is very important and using this constantly can be detrimental. Remember to use your abilities. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see newer players make. Use your turrets, set them down near someone that you downed to help alert when someone's going for the save. Set mines around the map if you have them. Just make sure that you're using whatever you have to help you get the pressure early that you need. Upgrade crates can be picked up as well, but honestly, I find the only guns that are worth upgrading at the moment are the machine guns. The shotgun receives a decrease in spread, which sounds good, but the spread is already so tight that it actually makes it hard to hit unless you aim perfectly. The sniper rifles get rate of fire increases from crates, which may be good for the semi-auto, but for the bolt action, this does absolutely nothing with your single shot reload. I find that it's sometimes best to avoid upgrade crates at first and try to get the downs quickly instead, especially considering if you manage to get somebody to the blood post early, the runner team often doesn't have the tools to deal with the situation and you can sometimes squeeze in an easy kill. Getting the runner team down to a team of 4 this early almost guarantees a victory unless you monumentally mess up the rest of the match. Some games don't go this way though, and sometimes you'll have to deal with a full team of 5 with a lot of good upgrades. Luckily, you can still manage to pull out a victory in these games as well, but it will definitely be much more difficult. Dealing with the abilities of the runner is one of the hardest parts of Hunter. There's not really much I can say to help you with this, as you usually just get better at this with practice. While stuns can be annoying, they only really slow you down for a very short amount of time, and you can sometimes still get shots on a person even while stunned. The one thing that most hunters struggle with is the blind bolt. Again, I see you as a very good ability for dealing with this, but I also believe that it can be dealt with without even using any abilities by having good game sense. Predicting runners as well as using sound can usually help keep you in the general direction of the runners, and you can usually follow up and continue the chase. There are also times when you can actually keep track of the runner through the blind, but this is very dependent on the map and where the chase is taking place. Another helpful tip if you're having trouble getting downs on runners is to time your shots. This is especially important with the shotguns. If you wait until a runner's roll is over, or until they jump into the air to take your shot, it makes the shots much easier to land and you maximize your damage output. Okay, let's talk about blood post plays. The biggest mistake I made early on, and one I see a lot, is going to the blood post with little to no stamina. If runners contest a blood post save and you have no stamina to fight back with, they will almost guarantee get the save and you'll have wasted an opportunity to get a runner out of the match. However, having full stamina can make the blood post a freaking bloodbath. Using your Q stun takes about 30% of your stamina and can be used 3 times before stamina gets too low to use. It's important to know that this stun actually cancels anything that runners are channeling, which includes blood post saves. The range is also big enough that if you get as close as you can to the actual blood post itself before using it, it will guarantee stun anybody that's saving and cancel the channel. This makes the blood post a very dangerous place to be. It can help you a lot to secure your kills. The actual Q stun itself is a pretty handy tool. It causes the survivor to get stunned for 0.4 seconds, which isn't much, but it's enough to get a shot in before they can act again, and even cancels wall climbs. Like the blood post, you can use this stun to cancel a runner that is channeling a key and to deliver the key game mode. Golden crates are very important too, as they give you infinite stamina. This makes blood post plays a breeze, but if you ignore them and the runner team gets them, your life becomes miserable. Support heal spamming is one of the hardest things to deal with as Hunter, and Golden Crate makes it borderline impossible. If you notice that this is happening to you a lot in game, I would recommend using the bolt action sniper to help counterplay it, as it can commonly one-shot down. That's it for me today, guys. I hope this video can help you guys out when you're feeling hopeless as Hunter. There are a lot of tools you have to help you out in game, but I'm sure there's things that I'll continue to discover as well to help counterplay runners. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to sub to the channel and hit me with any feedback in the comments below. Huge thanks to everybody for watching, and good luck hunting.